Start saying, there we go. All right, people. Oh, well, look at this. This isn't bad at all. I mean, it's a little something. You can see us a little bit. You know, we're using our light here. We just came back. Well, first of all, I'm Crazy Dee, and this is my wife,
Tracy.
All right, and this is the podcast film review.
Right.
Movies, music, culture, and whatever else comes to our mind at the time. So we just came back from seeing the Joe Budden's podcast with Rory and Maul, you know, at Vinyl inside of, what's this, the Hard Rock?
Hard Rock, yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the podcast, their live show is incredible. It's funny. I gave a few pieces up there because, you know, I don't tape for people's show because I believe in people's copyright. And, you know, I'm strong on that. So, you know, I'm not going to give everything that they do because that's why it's a live experience. You want to come out and see that live experience. But we came out, like I said in the writing, to say that, you know, it came out to get inspiration and to see what the future would be for this particular podcast and also Nothing But the Facts that I do with Franklin G. And what was funny about their situation is they described situations that happened to them within their podcast. And Joe Budden said something very funny. He said that Rory all of a sudden had to go out and go get a job because they used to shoot at 2 p.m.
Right.
And now, because of his job, they have to start shooting once a week at 7 p.m. And after 7 p.m., that's why they don't have the afterthoughts, because no one's going to stay in until 12 midnight to do afterthoughts. But he said, as soon as Rory quits, we'll be going back to normal. So, I mean, it's just the things that happen within podcasts. And, you know, we see that, you know, we're not alone in the situations that happen. So, you know, we keep it moving, and that's what we do. So, we wanted to stop and first tell you the organizational part about it. But then my wife, this was her choice. She said, we're going to see this podcast because we listen to the podcast, you know, when it comes on and when it's recorded. We listen to a lot of different podcasts, you know, and at the same time, we never try to copy or emulate what they do. We go in the opposite direction of what they do. And everything that I did, I had a certain type of hip hop that I liked, but I would go in another direction when I produced my brand of hip hop that I came out with. That's why it stands the test of time, and that's why, you know, it's the way it is. You stand the test of time when you're original. What's going on to Miss Diva, who just came on? I don't know if you've seen those ads and a quick clip of the presentation that's going to be on Tidal, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play, etc. The music part.
She's hilarious.
Yeah. And so that's the digital music side of it, but it's also coming out everywhere on image, just like what you see, crystal clear picture, beautiful picture, sound quality there, just banging it out. You're gonna be holding your sides, trying to keep from spitting up your coffee. Okay, so we want to say that. But so, you know, everything I do is original. Everybody who I work with, they come with original ideas. They do that thing. And let me tell you something. Catrice Thomas, hilarious. Miss Diva. And you're going to be able to see her as she embodies her dad as Mr. E. So we want to say that. So make sure that when you see those posts and you're down with Miss Diva, make sure you post those along, because that's set and that's ready to come August 1st. Yeah. No doubt about that, because what I say, word is bond. When I say something, that's what I do. Okay, so let's get back to the podcast for a minute. for Joe Budden's podcast. So what's real good about Joe Budden's podcast? Well, I'm gonna let you talk because this, like I said before, I kind of got sidetracked for a minute, but this was Tracy's choice to go see him. She surprised me with it, and I said, "Oh yeah, I want to go see this because we Joe Budden is very interesting, entertaining, and he has a certain perspective on things.
Very honest.
So go ahead.
So the podcast is a really good podcast. They talk about everything from entertainment to just whatever's going on in the news, and there's no structure. They kind of just talk about whatever's on their mind. But they were hilarious tonight. I mean, they thanked the fans for coming out. It was crowd participation. Everybody was laughing, having a good time. The energy was good. It was as if, everybody knew each other. People were laughing together, talking to one another. It was a really cool environment. So.
Mm-hmm. And so, that's what's real good about the situations is that because people listen to that person, it's like 1 degree of separation between all the people that are in the room, basically, because they're all listening to this person and they all feel this person. So it's kind of like the same vibe. It's kind of like family. Yeah. That's what it is. That's
what I love about podcasts, because when you're working, when you're editing, or you're able to listen to the various podcasts and stuff and get a feel for different shows. And so while you're working, you're able to listen to stuff. And like that podcast, I found that we were listening to it a lot. It was just constantly listening to it. So I'm like, okay, we might as well just subscribe to it. And then we just started listening to it. So it helps get you through your day. So while you're on the computer, you're listening to the podcast. And Joe Budden's podcast is excellent. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's honest. He don't care what anybody thinks. Screw politics. It is what it is. It's honest. And I'm glad we came out.
Oh, yeah. Glad we came out. So that's what we're going to wrap up, because, we have a couple of movies to review coming up this weekend. A couple of movies came out. That Blind Spotting is coming out, and also the new Equalizer 2 came out. Right. Wow, so it's going to be a heavy weekend. So we'll be back. This was just a quick thing. This is the culture side, and whatever else comes to mind in our podcast right here. So make sure that you go back and watch our reviews on the various movies we've done. Right. Sorry to Bother You, and of course the first Purge movie. Make sure you go back and do that, and then we just go back and listen to that, and also definitely go back and watch Nothing But the Facts podcast with myself and Franklin G and all of the, I think we're on 13 episodes on that right now, and we got another one coming up this weekend, so stay tuned for that. And we are live streaming now on LordlandFilms.com. We live stream. If you want your event live streamed, it is going to cost, because we have this down to the science. We're not vertical up and down. We're wide angle. And that's what we do, because we always advance and make sure the picture is right. Even in this is like some film noir type things where you're in the shadows, but you see us right here. You know what I mean? And you see my wife is the star because she has the most light. Like in scenes, that's how you know who the star is. The other person has the field light, and the main star has the light on them. So stay tuned for that. Oh, I'm just giving y'all film sense. That's what we do in this podcast. We give you film sense, so when you watch film, you say, "Oh, that is how it is." So stay tuned for that. Again, go back and watch everything that's happening on Crazy Deeyon on Facebook and Crazy Deeyon on YouTube. That's the YouTube channel for Crazy Deeyon. And then we also have the YouTube channel Lordland Films, Influencing the Next Generations. We have that one also that has more of the things. And Black Book TV is coming, and we just put up a mock channel on Black Book TV, so you can go right there and watch how Black Book TV is going to lay out. And we're looking for more content providers for that, because I am a content provider. I have at least 5 years of footage that can be used to last for over 2 years on the channel. But we're about being inclusive with our people, so our people can be seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. So that's about it. I mean, I want to, it sounds fun. I think I want to go to Joe Budden. Okay. Yeah, well, his second thing is right now, going on right now, because they did 2 shows. So if you want to see Joe Budden, you got to come down there and be down here tonight, because they're here tonight or when they come back. So I'm just letting Catrice know that. So that's about it. Black Book TV is coming. LordlandFilms.com, always producing. Word is bond. When you see it, it's crystal clear. Sound quality excellent. Music banging. You know, it's just my background from my retail years, because in retail, I also owned a record label within my retail store. So when Crazy Dee says that it's going to happen, it happens just like that, because word is bond. We come from Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio is a word is bond city. So all the people who want to see their dreams come true, make sure that you get with Crazy Dee, because I can tell you this from experience of experiencing others who may have gone the wrong way or within their life choice. If you choose not to see your dreams come true and work with people who can make those dreams come to fruition. Talk is cheap. It's when the person puts their money behind you. And many times I have put my own money behind people, and years later when they had people talking in their ear and they didn't continue, they never had anybody else. All those people who was talking in the ear never put money behind them, because talk is cheap. So always remember that. So I can guarantee you that if you don't work with people who are actually about it, who have a track record of actually producing, you will see yourself doing the same thing 20 years from now that you're doing right now. And that's bad. Somebody that's in their 20s, you'll be at 25, you'll be 45. Still trying to do it, not having gotten with people who actually do. So we're going to wrap it up for now. And amen, brother. Thank you. And so we're going to wrap it up now. And that's our piece. Look out for the podcast coming up this weekend. We just keep it moving. Watch all the films on LordlandFilms.com and LordlandFilms.com/LordlandTV. Black Book TV is coming. Look out for Bop TV in Atlanta. We'll be on there with our programming. And we just make it happen over here at LordlandFilms.com. That's Tracey Deeyon. I'm Crazy Dee. We're signing out. Film review, movies, music, culture, and whatever else comes to our mind at this time on LordlandFilms.com streamcast. We're out.